Ice Caps are Eastern Conference champions in 2013-14, and they're going to the Calder Cup Championship. Newfoundland and Labrador, how about those Ice Caps?
These are the Western Conference champions taking to the ice here in Austin, Texas.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Game 1 of the Calder Cup Finals here in 2014 from Cedar Park, Texas. Paul Hendrick alongside John Abbott. And John, not much to separate these two clubs, in the battle in the four-game series to win those next four may come down to special teams. You've got one team from Newfoundland, the best penalty kill team in the league right now in the postseason, and the other the best power play team over the course of the regular season.
71 for 78 in the postseason for the St. John's Ice Caps, and overall they've given up 11 fewer goals than the Texas Stars coming in. However, Texas, albeit struggling on the power play a little bit in the postseason, certainly have the guns to get that going. So it'll be interesting to see what team becomes 12-5 after each enter 11-5 tonight.
Well, it will be the first ever meeting in the history of the American Hockey League between these two teams. Plenty of challenges ahead for the respective head coaches. Let's hear from them.
Not an awful lot. I think you just worry about the series you're playing, and so we weren't even thinking about, St. John's till a couple days ago. So there's not an awful lot of advance. You watch your last 2 or 3 games, and that's all that really counts anyways.
When you look at their team from the scouting you have done, what are some of the things you're preparing for tonight?
They got a real solid team. They're a 4-line team. They've got lots of depth. They play real hard. Real good transition. They'll come at you like they're an aggressive team. They're a team that they'll go at us every time they can. So it'll be hard in the forecheck for them, and hard tracking back. So we'll have to work hard.
You got Justin Dowling back for Game 7 and kind of got to those 4 solid. You got to have those 4 healthy lines. Now, how nice of a feeling is that to go into this series? Well, pretty healthy and having that group set up.
That's good. We needed 4 lines. I thought the guys that were in that were played real well. But Dowling's a good player, and whenever you can get a guy like that back in your lineup, it certainly adds.
St. John's had a lot of success on the penalty kill here, and Toronto did as well in the last series. What do you do to make sure the power play can make a difference here?
I don't know. There's nothing you can make sure. You can prepare them. You can let them know what's going to happen, but. That's the job of the killers is to shut them down. So the teams are good. It's hard to score. But in the end we got one big one in the last game that really helped us. And I think it's more scoring when you need it than just scoring. So power plays are going to be big though.
See your speed being a big factor again, or attempting to do that as one of the things that helped you push back against Toronto. Yeah, I think St. John's has got a lot of speed as well. So I think it's going to be a game where both teams are going to try to use that part of their game. And you never know because we haven't played them like you guys said, and so we'll see once we start exactly where the series is at.
It's a real good group of young men, and they've earned themselves a right for an opportunity to win a Calder Cup.
Sounds reflective of your penalty kill. Does this go beyond the goaltender and what success Michael Hutchinson has brought to this club?
Well, anytime your penalty kill is strong, without a doubt you have to have the goaltending in net, and Michael has given us that and then some. We built a lot of momentum from our penalty kill in the Wilkes-Barre series. We have a good combination of speed on the one penalty kill unit and range on the other 2. So there's 2 parts to that for me. When you're able to have success and shut down the other team's top skilled players, obviously your team builds some momentum from that, but the flip side is there's some frustration that sets in on the skill level, the skilled players on the opposition's bench. So we're going to have our hands full here against Texas power play. We realize they ran around the 27% mark all season long, so it's a matter of limiting their opportunities and limiting their second chance opportunities here. So we realize what we're going to be facing. We realize the different structure that they want to run, but again, we got to make sure that we're staying out of the box because eventually they're going to catch up with you. But in the previous series, we felt it was a real strong point to get us in here into the finals.
As a coaching staff, how much of a challenge is it playing a team for the first time ever?
Well, it usually is, but for our team here, out of all these rounds here, the previous, our first 2 rounds against the Albany Devils in the first round and Norfolk also, we hadn't seen them all season long. So we're well up to speed on how the preparation and what it takes with regards to cramming with video, gathering as much information as possible on the team you're playing. So we've done that before, so it's the same here for us. And with regards to the coaching staff, we have the information we need, and on our side it's making sure that the right information is being relayed to the players. You don't want to freeze your group. You don't want your group to overthink how they're playing the game and where they need to be on the ice in different situations. And we also believe that we got here for a reason. We play the game a certain way, and we're not going to differentiate too much from how we need to play in this series here. So we're used to facing a team that we haven't seen here before, so we're well up to speed on what we need to do here.
The Texas Stars will start Christopher Nilstorp in nets here tonight. Michael Hutchinson will counter for the St. John's Ice Caps. The opening drop of the puck is coming up. Bob McGill and Todd Crocker with the call. The Calder Cup Finals from Cedar Park, Texas, about to start in just a moment.
Are all that remain in the AHL working year. And one of these two teams, the Texas Stars or the St. John's Ice Caps, will punch out the clock as Calder Cup champions. But as anyone who puts in 40 a week will tell you, the last hours of the week can be the toughest. Here are the starting goaltenders for the Texas Stars and the St. John's Ice Caps. I'm Todd Crocker with Bob McGill. Bob, it's going to be another goaltending duel.
You bet, Todd, and I think it's going to be an interesting one, as Hutchinson has been outstanding for the St. John's Ice Caps, and Nilstorp has been up and down for the Texas Stars.
Starting out, the Stars, who during the regular season were the AHL's best team, trying to get things organized in their own end. Picked up by Sherratt, and he dumps it down deep into the Stars' end. Nemeth trying to get to it there. Mueller comes along for the Stars and puts it up along the boards past Dustin Jeffrey. Here's Sherratt with it again as he dumps it straight back in behind the goaltender, Christopher Nilstorp. Riley there to try and pick it up, and it is put and given away out front, knocked down. The Ice Caps will go on the power play as O'Neill was heading in to take the shot, and off go the Stars first.
Jyrki Jokopaka is going to go to the penalty box for a tripping call for 2 minutes or less. So the first power play of the Calder Cup Finals here. They're going to go to the St. John's Ice Caps, as their power play has been pretty decent during this Calder Cup run. 16.9%, 14 goals on 83 opportunities through 16 games. And Texas Stars penalty killers have done the job pretty good, especially in that 7-game series against the Toronto Marlies.
Gauntz puts it back up along the near boards. Morin trying to get to it. Gauntz reaches for it and puts it right out. Here come the Ice Caps again with Redmond. Cross the blue line. Mullarat leaves this back for Kitchen, who puts it down low. Mullarat in behind the net. Looking back up high. They go. That shot doesn't get through as that one drifts off wide, and off to the far boards it goes. Back up high it comes again. Kitchen looks in, steps around more, and then tries to shovel it back out on the backhand. Turning around, London cross ice, and he looked like he had a great opportunity, but back up for Redmond at the blue line it comes. They work to shovel it down the wall, but it comes back to Redmond again. He throws one at the net, and that one is wide of the mark. Gauntz picks it up and sends it straight down Main Street.
Well, good job by Gauntz as he takes a look up and he sees the open spot up the middle of the ice, and he gets it 200 feet down, and they get 4 fresh penalty killers out there for Texas.
Here's Jaffrey. Henderson tries to rob him of it and does enough of the job to get the puck back and send it for a ride again with 40 seconds left to go in the extra man for St. John's. Up through the middle. Jaffrey leaves this one back, stepping to it. Andrew Gordon. They take the puck off him briefly, and down into the corner it goes. Jaffrey comes back up high. Morrissey trying to work it. Gets it back down low to Jaffrey around behind the net. Maxim Fortuna's trying to get to it for the Stars. They move it back up the board. Jaffrey out of the corner. Can't quite do anything with it. Back up the board. Turning on it. Gordon goes cross ice. And Morrissey will work it along the far boards, but they'll shake him loose of the puck. And Henderson will play it back into the ice-capped zone. Time will run out, and Yoki Paka will step back on the ice and go straight to the bench here.
Well, Texas Stars do a real good job of pressuring, and we're going to get a too many men on the ice penalty called against the St. John's Ice Caps as they make a poor change as they come up the ice just after the penalty for the Texas Stars expires. So back-to-back power play opportunities as both teams are going to get their chance early to see if they can open the scoring.
Trevor Hansen and Terry Koharski are the referees. Trent Knorr and Carl Sason, the linesmen. They'll get the draw deep in Ice Caps territory to the glove side of the left-hander Hutchinson. Morin comes in. He's got McKenzie to his right, the Rookie of the Year. Morin, the Player of the Year. It comes back up to Fortunas. Moves it down to the far boards and trying to step off there. That shot goes off a stick. McKenzie plays it right back to Mueller. Knocked down out front. Glennie over to Morin. Scores! Travis Morin opens it up here in the Calder Cup final. He was terrific all year. Won the scoring race, and he started it here for the Texas Stars in Game 1.
Well, absolutely right. And, you know, through the course of the regular season, a 32-goal man. He gets his fifth goal of the Calder Cup playoffs. And a mishandle of the puck right there by St. John's. And it's a nice little quick pass from Mueller over to Morin. And he puts it past the goaltender, Hutchinson. And just like that, the Texas Stars power play clicks. And we've got a 1-0 lead for the Western Conference champions.
3:08. The time of it. Redmond comes back for the Ice Caps, retreating with Sherratt. At the line, kept in by Meach. Sent around behind the net, and the Ice Caps try to move this one back out. And the Stars solid at getting a hold of the puck. Here's Jaffrey. Drifts it in behind the net. Yoki Paka tries to move it back the other way, and in the corner it goes. Gordon shovels it along to Jaffrey. Gets some pressure from Justin Dowling, who pushes it loose, and we're raced into the corner for it. Back up the boards it comes finally with Yoki Paka. Out front, he's got Hedden to his left. Richie Dowling feeds it back in. Yoki Paka out front. That one up and over top and put back out into the corner, and nearly another great opportunity.
I think Hutchinson got his blocking glove on the play off the stick of Richie, and in the Western Conference final, Richie was terrific, and he got robbed on numerous occasions by Drew McIntyre, the Toronto Marlies goaltender, and things get off to the wrong foot for him as he looks like he's got an open net, and the goaltender Hutchinson with a big save.
You look at that Texas lineup, Bob, and in the last round it was a solid effort that was put forth by Justin Dowling, Brett Ritchie, and Mike Hedden that got Game 7 won.
Yeah, no question. As a guy like Dowling sat 7 consecutive games before coming into Game 7. If he got hurt in Game 6 of the round number 2 against Grand Rapids, and he had a goal and 2 assists in Game 7, and that was the difference for them beating the Toronto Marlies.
Morin at 3:08 from Glennie and McKenzie to clean up that bit of business. Back up high it comes. That off into the corner. Looking for a little help from Mueller. Never got there. Jeffrey trying to get it back to Glennie. He reaches back for it just his own blue line and then into the bench. Looked like Mueller wanted to get engaged, but we get a whistle on that.
Well, that's one thing about this St. John's Ice Caps club. I talked with Keith McCambridge this morning, the head coach for their team. He said, this team, we're known as a hard-working group. We're a physical group. We're going to finish our checks all over the ice, and we thrive on playing that way. And you see Mueller out there trying to run the guy right into the Texas Stars bench. He misses him and almost goes in there all by himself, but not for a lack of trying.
Foxa takes it away. Shot right on as Hutchinson has a moment of adventure. Back up high it comes. That shot, another blast. And He turns it aside with the stick. Coming back out, the Ice Caps dump it deep. Nemeth goes back for this one. Takes the hit, but delivers the pass. And here comes Stronsky down the right side. And upended is Foxa. The crowd would like a penalty. They won't get it.
Well, that was interference for sure, but it goes uncalled.
Here's Fortunas. That one was intended to have Henderson tip it. Skating to it out of the corner. Cal McKinnon. He gets a hold of it, and the Ice Caps. Morrissey will get it out of his own end. Fortunas is right there. Morin as well. Played back, but not far. And here's Fortunas again. Puts it right onto the stick of Ranford, who's got a lane. And then it closes in, back in. Fortunas, the shot. Loose puck. Backhander swept wide as McKenzie was trying to get his stick on it to direct it toward the net. A blast from Fortunas goes off a stick and over the hedge into the neighbor's yard as the Texas Stars up 1-0 here over St. John's. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Calder Cup Final. It started in Texas and Oklahoma City, but it got real rough with Grand Rapids, Bob, and then certainly with the Toronto Marlies.
Yeah, a 6-game series against Grand Rapids, and then a 7-game real pressure-filled 7-game series with the Toronto Marlies in the Western Conference, but they're off to a good start here in the Calder Cup Finals.
In behind the net. Finally pulled out of there by the Ice Caps. As they step back to it the other way, McKenzie closes in on it. As it wobbles down into the corner, Milstorp points it out, gives some direction to Fortunas. Meach in there as well, picked it up, and that little backhander is tipped away. Sherratt throws another one. Tapped down by Travis Morin. Ice Caps trying to get to it. Klingberg stumbles, falls, and now Morin steps around, patiently moving the puck. Long one for Ranford. He's got Morin coming in, takes the shot, and he missed the net, and it comes all the way back the other end. Texas looked like they wanted to get in a change anyway, and they do. Here comes the Stars Dowling across the blue line. Still hanging on. Little backhander misses the mark. Alexiak gets by it. Hedden throws it in behind the net. Ritchie chases it down. He's banged up. Brendan Kitchen doing the work. Knocked down again by the Stars. And the crowd appreciating the effort. Dowling sharply moves it back. Gauntz has to send it ahead, but it's cut off by Gordon. They can't make anything happen with it. It's tapped back the other way. Hedden runs into some opposition. Gets by Nielsstorp up along the near side, and Dowling will handle it from here. Dowling cross ice. Turning around on it was Dustin Jeffrey, but they don't like the look of that one.
Well, they said that Scott Glennie jumped offside, and you know, this Texas Stars club, they've got a real excellent transition team, and you know, on this play, Dowling advances the puck, and you saw that complete spinorama by Dustin Jeffrey, and then he picks up that loose puck, but on the far side, Glennie stepped offside. After it, Jeffrey, they knock it back the other way, and Stars come back. Yoki Paka after it. Mullerat backing up, as is London. Yoki Paka didn't have much choice but to come back to Nemeth. They exchange sides, and Nemeth sends it up through center. Mueller tried to play it back the other way, and now the Ice Caps across the blue line. Mullerat takes the shot and goes off of Yoki Paka. Chip back the other way. Here comes Glennie, reeling it in across the blue line. Glennie hangs up, takes the shot on Hutchinson, and he was opening the rebound. Popped right to Mueller. It didn't. Off the boards. Turning around, there's another shot with too much traffic out front. The Ice Caps try to transition back the other way, but they're also trying to make a change, so they're going to have to dump that one in as Nielsstorp plays it in behind his own net. Fortunas hangs on, looks up front. He's got Foxa, and that got by everybody across the blue line. Looked offside, was offside. Well, that's a play where the official gets up on the boards to get out of the way, but the puck jumps and it hits his skate and forces the offside call. So the face-off will be outside in the neutral zone, outside the St. John's Ice Caps blue line. This things both clubs with a power play each in period number 1, and Texas cashing in for the 1-0 lead in the hockey game. Fortunas long shot directed aside by Hutchinson.
Pops off the board. Stronsky tries to play it down a little deeper. Cormier comes down the left side, decides to dump it in. McKinnon goes after it. Meach gets there first. Meach kicks it around, gets it loose, and Stronsky will head back the other way. Across the blue line, still hanging on to it. Using Henderson as a blocker before he finally dumps it in, and they change out some bodies. McKinnon, Moore steals the puck, feeds it to McKenzie, and Curtis McKenzie very nearly broke in all by himself. Good defensive play to break it up. Nielstorp sends it up along the near boards. Rampard's right there. That gets by a couple, and a dangerous pass nearly ended up with an opportunity. Still might. And London has it knocked off his stick and put back outside the Stars zone. Stepping back inside, but Gaunt's right in the way of that opportunity. Woolerath in behind the net. Off into the corner it goes. McKenzie will pick it up again as it gets by Rampart trying to get to it. They hold him up. The crowd wanted another interference penalty, and the puck goes out of play with 9:48 remaining. We'll take a break and come right back. Stars up 1-0 over the Ice Caps in the Calder Cup final. Here at the Cedar Park Center, the St. John's Ice Caps got here by traveling to Albany first, Norfolk and Wilkes-Barre, and that last one was a Hutchinson show.
Yeah, it sure was. And in his last 4 games of that series, he let in just 5 goals in the last 5 games. And in the 4 victories, just 2 goals against. So he was outstanding, no question.
Ritchie trying to pick that one off the boards and got by him. They have to retreat on that. Here come the Ice Caps trying to break it out of their own end. On the second attempt, they do. Comes into some open ice. Picked up on the left side. Will O'Neill working it. Gets it down low. Gordon is there. Comes back to Dowling, however, and he pops it off the boards. Gives it right to Jaffrey, who back to O'Neill it comes. He goes cross ice. Stepping away, Morrissey. Nemeth challenges him. Gordon throws it back out front. Jaffrey was on the doorstep. Back up high it comes. Here's Morrissey again. Sharply moving it. Here are the Ice Caps. O'Neill the shot, and it's blocked by Yoki Paka, but came through the slot. And now back out into center it comes as the Stars try to move it back the other way. Jaffrey just tossed easily back into the corner by Albert of the Ice Caps is Fortunas.
Well, we talked about coming into this series too that the Texas Stars are a puck possession team, but the Ice Caps showing right there that they can get it in the zone, work it around, and get some opportunities also.
Pops back out front, back to Meach, moves it down the boards. Jeffrey, it's a little opposition. They're able to move it back out. Here come the Caps. Cross the blue line again. Klingberg drops that one back, and it does not find a home as Fortunas reels it in behind his own goaltender and now steps away. Fortunas just gives it away. Klingberg out front. Sampson, and a great opportunity, and the Ice Caps could not find the puck as Jerome Sampson was falling and just couldn't get the tape on it.
I think Nielstorp helped the play out. He stretched out with his goal stick and maybe tripped up Sampson a little bit that didn't allow him to get his shot with that open net available.
Here he comes again, energized by that opportunity, working along the board. Down in the corner, far side it rolls as Texas having some troubles here as that one pops up and out of play. 7:37 left to go here in the first period. The Stars up 1-0 over the Ice Caps.
Well, Christopher Nielstorp, his first real challenge in front of him. And Jerome Sampson with 3 goals and 7 points in the Calder Cup playoffs comes ever so close to opening the scoring here for the St. John's Ice Caps. But the goaltender Nielstorp coming into this one had a few off games in that Western Conference final, but in Game 7 when they needed him at his best, he certainly was. And that's the reason why they're here today.
Stronsky was trying to move that one in. Alexiak picks it up and fires it in. Hutchinson gets a tap on it. As the Ice Caps pick it up and bring it right back out. Doing a pretty good job here in the mid-first period of controlling the pace of play. Gaunt back the other way. Radek Faksa. Back the other way, Ranford. Hill gives him a bit of a shot and makes him separate himself from the puck. Ice Caps, Hill Off the stick and into the far corner. Nemeth goes after this one. He's got London right there. Comes back out. O'Neill tries to move it back up high. Here's London again working back out of the corner. We talk about the cycle game. Right now, the Ice Caps were putting together a good one before that opportunity went awry. Here's McKenzie. Cross ice. Rampart has to reach behind him. He sends it in. Ice Caps pick it up again as Redmond goes cross ice on the safe pass. Sharp one over to Jaffrey. He steps back. Gets a little bit of pressure. Backs up. And they'll try this one again. Cut off by Fortunas. Chance taken, but it's popped back out across the blue line, and the Stars vacate as the Ice Caps once again send it down the ice. Jaffrey got a touch. He'll race for this one. After it is Meach. Comes back out front, and looked like a dangerous moment. Was one! Picked up! Shot! Stopped by Nielstorp. Couple of good ones. Through the slot it comes, and the Stars are able to get it right back out. Here's Ritchie heading to the net. Picks it up. Backhand. Stop! And we got a penalty. Scored! No! Waved off. We've got a penalty coming up as the Texas Stars will convene with Trevor Hansen, the referee.
Well, when you get an opportunity at one end, how many times do you see that? A golden opportunity at one end, and you get a couple of saves made, and then right back the other way, a 2-on-1, Dowling to Ritchie. And Ritchie's going to come across, go from forehand to backhand, try to put it past Hutchinson, and Hutchinson makes the save. The puck comes out, and Dowling bangs the rebound in, but the referee's got his hand up to call a penalty, and I don't know who he's calling the penalty on, whether it's against St. John's, and he's blowing the whistle dead because the goaltender made the save, so he's blowing it down. He made the call of a slashing infraction, but as the fans are getting into it here, aren't they?
Absolutely. The slash call, and you've got to assume that he then believes that St. John's moves the puck.
Yeah, the goaltender made the save, so he's blowing it dead. And I think that's a little bit of a quick whistle on his behalf, but the Texas Stars will go back to the power play, and they're 1-for-1 in the hockey game, and that's the difference so far, is the only scoring in this contest.
St. John's gets the benefit of the quick whistle, but the power play still residing with the Texas Stars. Mueller in the circle. Patrice Cormier. Mueller wins it back, and here's Morin. Hangs on, sends it back up high. Bit of a wobbler to Fortunas at the blue line. Morin, as they're trying to get some bodies out front on the backside. That shot goes up to the glass, and it's picked up by Fortunas. Morin again, looking cross ice. Takes the blast, and that misses entirely and runs into some snow on the far side.
Well, Morin was looking for that high slot redirection by Glennie, but he missed the puck.
Tries another one, but that is turned aside and wobbles back down the ice as Maxime Fortunas gets a little bit of pressure here from McKinnon. Morin comes back, looks up ice, and he's got the help he needs in Ritchie. He'll turn it around again as St. John's doing a pretty good job here on the penalty kill. Long one, shot in, and for Nielstorp, who turned it aside, it kind of surprised him. Ritchie now tosses that back to Jeffrey. Across the blue line come the Stars. Shot off the glass into the corner. Ritchie picks it up from there. Stepping back out of the corner. Here's Dowling on the boards. Moves it back up high at the blue line. Meach drifts over. Moves it back to Dowling. He tightens it up. Cross ice off a skate. And back out into center ice.
Yeah, Patrice Cormier with no stick uses the skate to deflect the puck out.
Turning around, looking back up. Here's Dowling again as they set up patiently. Meach looks in, doesn't have it. Back to Dowling. Stick side. Out front, Ritchie, the shot! Stopped by Hutchinson, and he comes up with a huge save.
Yeah, terrific puck movement right there by the Texas Stars. And Ritchie almost benefits with that shot over that blocking glove of the goaltender Hutchinson, but a terrific save.
Dowling moving it. Round behind the net it goes. Out front! Shot right on! Stopped by Hutchinson again! Terrific save by the goaltender.
Well, Michael Hutchinson, the big reason why the Ice Caps pushed aside the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins as easily as they did, is we talked about in those last 4 victories, only 2 goals against in that 6-game series, but he was terrific there, and he's come out here in this Calder Cup Finals and showing his form again.
Here at 5-on-5, we got a penalty coming up here to the Stars as the Ice Caps with the extra man. Goaltender out, but Radek Fox is able to get a stick on that with 3:15 left to go. When we come back, it'll be a St. John's Ice Caps power play. This is the Calder Cup Final. Well, there aren't too many schedules you'll see that look like this one, but we'll come back again tomorrow night and then off to St. John's later in the week, and then a big long break between games 3 and 4. As building availability is always a little tricky in the American Hockey League. Sent down the ice as St. John's on the power play. Trying to even this one up with the Texas Stars. Jaffrey across the blue line. Shot! Stopped by Nielstorp, and a great pad save, but a good opportunity as the Stars are able to clear it all the way down the ice. Hutchinson comes out to play this one, but O'Neill backs him up. Hangs onto it patiently as Will O'Neill moves it along. Cormier at the blue line, dumps it down deep. Alexiak is there to pick it up. Little backhander, doesn't get out as O'Neill picks it up from there. Goes cross ice. The chase for it. Jaffrey wins. He puts it back into the corner. Jaffrey tries to tap it back. Morrissey there with it. Cross ice, finding Gordon. Big blast! Stopped out front, and Ranford can't get it out, but Morin comes in to collect it, and he'll carry it with some help. Ranford behind him. Knocked off of his stick at the St. John's blue line, and Nemeth tosses it back the other way. It's sent back out. Kitchton, that's offside. 49 seconds left to go in the power play for the Ice Caps.
Well, a good opportunity for the St. John's Ice Caps, and Patrice Cormier parked out with that big body out in front of Nielstorp, and he fights through it, does Nielstorp, to make sure that puck doesn't get by him, and then the Stars clear it out. And as you said, the offside forces a face-off out in the neutral zone.
Off the draw, Odell knocks that one back as Redmond jostles for it. London back to Odell. He has to turn back again. Here comes Redmond across the blue line. Goes down deep, back for Odell, lets one fly, and Nielstorp gets in the way of that one. London in behind the net, whiffed on one. Nemeth trying to get a hold of it. Some big trust being put in Radek Foxa here on the penalty kill by Willie Desjardins, the head coach of the Texas Stars, and it pays off as they get it outside the zone.
Well, Jyrki Jokipaka, best name in hockey, with a good stick in the lane there, clears the puck out of the zone for the Stars.
Mularot back across the blue line. Here's Odell trying to tap it back. Hop a couple of blades and back out. Kitchton keeps it down deep. Fortunis picks it up from there. Shovels it up along the near boards. Here's Ritchie with it. Down the right side, he's got help in Henderson, but he's squeezed off of it. Henderson still trying to get after it. Ritchie drifts down deep into the corner, picks up the puck from there. Tries to hold off his man, McKinnon. Hill will go after it. Dowling as well. Still pursuing it. Off the bench and picking it up is McKenzie as he backhands it down deep. The Ice Caps doing a pretty good job of puck possession. And the longer you keep it out of the hands of this high-scoring Texas team, the better chances you have to win. Here's Gaunce. Turns around. Kicks it back up the boards, finds Ramford. Ramford's got some room on the right side. He's got McKenzie going to the net at the end of his shift. That one cross ice, and Alexiak picks it up. McKenzie battling out front, past Ramford. He turns around, looking in, takes the shot. Way too many bodies out front of this one as the period expires. At the end of 20 minutes of play, 1-0 is the score. The Texas Stars up over the Ice Caps. Bob?
Well, it's pretty interesting. These two clubs have never met before. First time ever, so a bit of a feeling out process. The power play, the difference thus far in game one, period number one, 1-0 lead on the power play for the Texas Stars. They outshoot the St. John's Ice Caps 11-5 in the period. So I'd say both teams, when they head to their dressing rooms, will feel pretty good about what transpired in the first 20 minutes.
The goal came at 3:08. Travis Morin on the power play. And the Stars, after 20 minutes in Game 1, lead the Ice Caps 1-0. This is the Calder Cup Final.
Welcome back to Calder Cup Finals hockey on Leafs TV. After one period of play in Game 1, it is a 1-0 Texas Stars lead. Thanks to this man and Travis Morin with the Game 1 opening goal. In terms of feeling out process between two teams that haven't faced each other, was there any?
You know, I think there wasn't a whole lot. Both teams were going pretty hard there to start the game, and that's what you want out of a final series.
In terms of being able to strike first, something you couldn't do against Toronto, how does that change your approach in the finals?
You know, it doesn't really matter for us. I mean, it showed when we played Toronto. We got down early pretty much every game. We just continue to try to play our game for 60 minutes and you know, let the chips fall where they may.
Do you feel you contained them pretty well? I mean, you didn't allow a shot on goal against until the 6-minute mark. Yeah, you know, we were doing a good job. I think forechecking was a big part. You know, working them down in their zone takes a lot out of guys, and it's hard for you to create offense when you're spending a lot of time in your zone, and we blocked a lot of shots and got in lanes. Travis, thank you. Yep, no problem. Travis Morin with his 5th of the playoffs, helping the Texas Stars jump out to a 1-0 lead in game number 1 of the Calder Cup Finals. It'll be Dave Andrews on the other side when we return to Calder Cup action on Leafs TV.
Travis Morin's 5th goal of the postseason coming on the power play has provided the hometown Texas Stars with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play over the visiting Ice Caps from St. John's, Newfoundland. Hi everyone and welcome back to Cedar Park, Texas. Paul Hendrick alongside the president of the American Hockey League, David Andrews. And David, in your 20th year of operation as the man ahead of this great league, where do you think the league has made its greatest strides over the course of the last 2 decades?
Well, I think probably, Paul, moving to a point where we became kind of the sole supplier of players to the National Hockey League. In the old days, we had the International League and the American League competing, and back in 2001, we expanded, took over the remaining 6 teams in the AHL and formed one 30-team league that has kind of accomplished a dream for us to match up one team to one team with the NHL and have every NHL top farm club being in the American Hockey League. And you look at the players that have moved on over that period of time, I think we're at the point now where it's almost 90% of the players in the National Hockey League have spent some time in the American League developing their skills and getting ready to get to the next level.
I guess a source of pride has to be the Stanley Cup Final, and you look at the 48 players on the respective rosters, 39 at one point in time played in the American Hockey League.
Well, they did, and I think we're looking at certainly Darryl Sutter played in the league. I don't think he coached in our league. I think he coached in the IHL, but you know, in the New York Rangers, Alain Vigneault certainly coached in our league, and it's surprising if you don't see those kind of numbers. It's pretty much that way every year. Usually both coaches are graduates of the American Hockey League, and a good portion of the players. And a lot of them have participated in the Calder Cup playoffs and Calder Cup finals as well.
There are always challenges in your role, and looking ahead, how do you reward the great hockey fans of St. John's, Newfoundland, and their patronage over the years at a time when National Hockey League teams would like their farm teams based closer to the main operation?
Well, it's a real challenge with St. John's, and it's difficult because they've supported our team so well. I mean, going back to the years of the St. John's Maple Leafs and now through the Ice Caps tenure, every game a sellout. It's a wonderful place, great hockey fans, and it's a place our teams like to go and play. I think the challenge is we need to find a partner that's in the Eastern Conference for them, somebody that's close to the same time zone, and that's difficult to do. You know, with Winnipeg, it was a reasonably good fit as long as they were in the Eastern Conference, but now every NHL team is striving to bring their American League team and their players closer to their home base, somewhere within the same time zone if they can. And it's not only St. John's that we're facing the issue with. We're facing the challenge of working with the Western-based NHL teams on the West Coast to, at some point over the next 2 or 3 years, relocate teams and create a division on the West Coast to satisfy their needs. So there's a lot of pressures. We can't create new franchises, and we really want to help and try to find a way to put a team in St. John's once Winnipeg relocates. States. But it is challenging, and all I can tell those fans is we're working as hard as we can on it.
In the different time zones, really, it's not the American Hockey League, it is the North American Hockey League, and you get, for the third time in the last 6 years, a Canada-U.S. final. That certainly matches up well as far as the league is concerned.
Well, it does, although I might have hoped for a little less than 3,000 miles between the teams. We've never had two teams this far apart playing in the finals, and it is challenging logistically, but as we said off the air, what a great place this is in terms of hockey fans here in Cedar Park, Texas. The place is full and the fans are loving their hockey, and two great teams here, so it doesn't get old. You know, I'm thinking 20 years of doing this job, and when you get to the Calder Cup finals, game one is always really exciting, and you look forward to it. And we've got two great teams here. It's going to be a great series.
Yeah, I thought Texas dominated the opening period, but you look back, I think we haven't had a 7-game series since 2003, Houston edging Hamilton, but there have been only 3 sweeps over that time, over the course of the last 12 years or so. Do you expect another competitive series, and do you think parity is really a big part of this league moving forward?
Well, I think parity has always been a big part of the league, particularly since 2001, where every team essentially is playing with the top draft choices of every NHL team, and it's a pretty level playing field. In this case, they're two interesting teams. I mean, Michael Hutchinson's played unbelievable in goal throughout the playoffs, and again here in the first period. He can be a difference maker. When you look at the strength of the Texas team in terms of rolling 4 lines that are all big, they're all fast, and they all have skill, they're a really formidable opponent, as the Marlies found out. So it's going to be real interesting to see. I mean, both teams are good. They're well coached, and you know, it's anybody's guess how this is going to go, but certainly I would expect it's going to be 5 or 6 games for sure, and maybe 7.
Moving forward, and perhaps finally looking at the All-Star game, I thought it was a great success bringing Färjestad over to Newfoundland in the middle of February. What do you see moving forward? Do you want to continue with this experiment, maybe changing things up a bit?
Well, we would like to continue with it. We're in touch with the Swedish Hockey League again, and also with the Finnish Elite League, and looking at trying to bring a team from one of those leagues, possibly even a select team, to play our All-Stars next year. It took us a long time to pull it together in the last case with Färjestad, but huge success for us and a huge success for Färjestad. They loved it. They went back when they came over. They were in the middle of the pack in their league, and they ended up playing in the finals in the Swedish league. And you know, their folks thought that coming over to North America and playing us really helped bring their team together and help them have a good finish to the year and a good playoff. So we hope we can keep it up. We think the international flavor is good for hockey and certainly good for our league.
David, great chatting with you once again.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
All right, Travis Morin led the American Hockey League in scoring with 88 points this season. He is 16 now in the American Hockey League postseason with his 5th goal to go alongside 11 assists. 20 minutes in the books here in Texas, and the Stars lead St. John's by a score of 1-0. Our coverage of the Calder Cup playoffs 2014 from Cedar Park, Texas continues in just a moment.
Knocked down out front. Lenny over to Morin, scores! Travis Morin opens it up here in the Calder Cup final.
Through the course of the regular season, a 32-goal man. He gets his 5th goal of the Calder Cup playoffs, and a mishandle of the puck right there by St. John's. And it's a nice little quick pass from Mueller over to Morin, and he puts it past the goaltender.
Looked like a dangerous moment. Was one! Picked up, shot, stopped by Nielstorp. Couple of good ones. Here's Ritchie heading to the net, picks it up, backhand, stop! And we got a penalty, score! No, waved off.
Well, when you get an opportunity at one end, how many times do you see that? A golden opportunity at one end, and you get a couple of saves made, and then right back the other way, a 2-on-1, Dowling to Ritchie. And Ritchie's going to come across, go from forehand to backhand, try to put it past Hutchinson, and Hutchinson makes a save, the puck comes out, and Dowling bangs the rebound in, but the referee's got his hand up to call a penalty.
Only one goal in the first period of Game 1 of the Calder Cup Finals. Travis Morin on the power play. 3:08 from Glennie and McKenzie. Bob, it very closely was 2.
Yeah, you're right about that, as one goal was disallowed as the referee, I thought, blows the whistle a little quick on the play. The goaltender makes a save. Usually the defending team has to get possession of the puck. The ensuing power play didn't capitalize for the Texas Stars, but they do fire 11 shots on Hutchinson in that period. 5 saves at the other end for Nielstorp, as both clubs, one 0 for 2 and one 1 for 2 on the power play in period number 1.
The second period about to get underway here at the Cedar Park Center in Austin, Texas, where they have been pretty solid during the playoffs. This Texas Stars team. Here's Mueller coming in for the Stars, and it is Kyle McKinnon who will take the draw to start things out. Riley and Jeffrey have a little bit of a joust prior to the drop of the puck. There it is, one back by the Stars, and Nemeth picks it up in the long change period. Nemeth still hanging on to it. Move along to Jeffrey, and that didn't touch him. It's sent along. It'll be picked up for icing just 10 seconds into this second period.
Well, this Texas Stars club, as we talked about, being that puck possession team and a very quick team. And I thought that St. John's in period number 1 did a pretty good job of, they're trying to trap them in the neutral zone to take away their speed and make them cause some turnovers. Right there, they do a good job. As you said, Nemeth holds onto that puck a long time, and they end up getting the icing call against.
Lenny picks it up after the shot by Redmond. Back up along the near boards. Mueller tries to feed along to Jeffrey, and right back the other way comes Redmond. Across the blue line, he fires one over the glove of Nielstorp, but also over the net. London trying to pull it back out of the corner. That goes off a couple of sticks, and back out into center it comes. Redmond will toss another one in there. Nemeth knocks it down with his stick. Back out of the corner. London trying to get to it. Nemeth does. Picks it up and has that one pop up high into the glass. London doing the work to keep it down deep for the Ice Caps. Stepping back out front was Odell, but he couldn't quite get there. Here's Mueller. Stepping away from one. Still skating. Trying to bring it down the boards, and that doesn't work out. Stars will make a change, as will the Ice Caps. Redmond. This one given away. Off a body and out into the crowd.
Well, as I spoke of the trap situation there, the Texas Stars need to get a change. Get the puck to the red line, dump it in. They try one more play, but it's being clogged up outside the blue line by St. John's. They get the turnover, but then it ends up being turned back over, but a faceoff comes outside the line into the neutral zone, so this cat and mouse game will continue.
Travis Morin wins this one back. Faceoffs in favor of the Stars at the moment. Here's Ramford working back out of the corner, out front. Morin the shot, right on, another chop at it, but that goes over the net. Morin patiently with it, moves it back down into the corner. McKenzie, as it rolls off of his stick on the fresh ice. Tap back, McKenzie. Morrissey couldn't move it. Does now across the blue line. Help on the backside. Gordon, backhander, and he's robbed. Back up again. That shot out front. Still there. Jeffrey hangs on. Block shot. Second attempt. O'Neill scores. And it is tied up at 1 apiece here in game 1 after a flurry of opportunities for the St. John's Ice Caps.
Well, you're right about that, and Will O'Neill gets his 3rd goal of the Calder Cup playoffs, and a big one. And they just do an excellent job of swarming the loose puck. They get a couple of different opportunities. Gordon gets the first one. They get a second opportunity, then the defenseman O'Neill jumps in, and he capitalizes the goaltender with those stick. He puts it by him, and we've got a 1-1 score here in the Calder Cup Finals.
A tight game. Dowling trying to win that one. Meach travels all the way back. Fortunas on the Dowling stick. Heaves it down the wall. McKinnon moving it quickly. Sherratt. McKinnon in behind the net for the Ice Caps. They work back from their goaltender. And put it back in. Meach trying to find a way again as Fortunas. Long pass as the Stars look a little jittery here to open up this second period. Goal came at 1:47 from Will O'Neill. Jaffrey with the assist, and Morrissey with an assist as well. Reaching back for it, Fortunas pulling it back out of there. Sampson turns around, fires one, and that one comes back up along the near boards to Kitchen, and he keeps it in. And right now, St. John's is doing exactly what Texas has done over the course of this AHL season. They have cycled well out of the corner.
Absolutely, and they get momentum by getting that goal less than 2 minutes in. $1:47, O'Neill from Jaffrey and Morrissey, as you said, and instantly the next shift they get out there, they get the puck in the offensive zone. They get their cycle game going. They open things up, they get it up to the blue line, put pucks back down towards the net, and they get the Stars on their heels.
Foxa tossed out of there. One back by the Stars. Jokipaka moves it onto the stick of Henderson. He can't get much farther than Odell with it. Foxa turns around, tries to find Henderson again. They knock it back out again. This St. John's team doing a good job defensively as well. Foxa couldn't get to it. Here come the Ice Caps again. Back down the left side. Odell feeding it back in, but it's cut off by Patrick Nemeth, and then he gives it away. Kitchen straight out front, turning around, little backhander, back out front again, and Odell couldn't get back to that opportunity as it existed from Josh London.
Yeah, London all by himself. He tries to chip it out front, and the Ice Caps doing an excellent job of turning plays after turnovers as Nemeth, the big one up the middle of the ice in his own zone, and it almost cost his club.
Jokipaka goes after it for the Stars. In there, Andrew Gordon peeling it out of there. The Ice Caps. Jeffrey back across the blue line, feeding it along. Mueller has a step, comes in, shoots, he scores! Mueller lifts it over the shoulder of Hutchinson to bring the Stars back up by a goal, 2-1.
Well, the Ice Caps sort of take control of the game when they score 147 in. And a very unassuming play. It's just chipped along the boards by Jeffrey. But it's Mueller with an excellent burst of speed as he finds that opening, and then he fires that wrist shot over top of the outstretched glove of Hutchinson. And the 2-1 lead for the Texas Stars as they get the crowd right back into the hockey game.
He didn't have much room. Turned out he didn't need it. Now here come the Ice Caps again, trying to even this one up real quick. 3:52 the time of it. Jeffrey with an assist on it as it skitters back across the blue line into Ice Caps territory. Morrissey patiently moves it back up ice. Here's Riley on the right side. Long one, and that is gloved by Nielstorp. And now we get into a bit of a tussle out front of the goaltender.
Gauntz and Cormier getting at it. McKenzie getting in the grill also of McKinnon on the play. Cooler heads prevail. It'll be interesting to see if the referees are going to take anybody to the penalty box. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's interesting when you look at the goaltenders in this game. You don't often see both guys that are lefties essentially. They catch with their right hands. And it seems to me that a lot of shots, guys are trying to throw it over the glove of the goaltender. And I don't know it. In first period we saw it, and again here now, the goal by Mueller at this end over Hutchinson's right glove, and they come right back the other way, and they're trying to blow it over top of the glove of Nielstorp. So maybe the respective teams are thinking that's the weakness of their goaltender.
Kitchen couldn't keep that one in. Meach hangs on. He's a guy who has some points for this Stars club. Dowling just could not control that pass cross ice. Klingberg turns it back the other way, but the whistle finds its way into the game with 4:34 off the clock in the second period.
Well, they're going to call it offside on the play as the Texas Stars, when they made that pass across, I think it was Dowling. He touched the puck when it was still inside the zone, even though the Ice Caps are heading back the other way. It touches his stick, so the referee's got to blow it. We're not going to let anything slide just because of it's the Calder Cup Finals.
Here's Fortuna, still got to play by the rules as that one hops the curb. Mueller currently with the go-ahead goal here in Austin, Texas. The scene shifts back to, or over to St. John's for the first time. Later this week, it is a long road trip. Maybe the longest in the AHL now that Abbotsford is in Glens Falls. In fact, it is. San Antonio might just be that hour longer.
The charter flight on Tuesday, both clubs and ourselves on the flight to St. John's, saying it's going to be between 6.5 and 7 hours. Are you kidding me?
It could be in Europe. Here's Nemeth. In fact, St. John's is closer to Oslo, Norway than it is to Austin, Texas. Down the ice it comes. Racing forward, Hill. Foxa knocks him off of it. Henderson tries to pick it out of there and does. Moving it back into the corner. Trying to get around Albert. Gordon, two. Glennie pushes it back the other way. Henderson cuts toward the net, tried to feed it back out front. Too many ice caps in the way of that one, and back they come with a rush. Leading it back to Albert. Hangs on, didn't have the shot. Foxa got back real quick. Trying to go cross ice with it. Turning it around, shot right on, and Nilstorp makes that save.
Andrew Gordon with a great wrist shot trying to go far side, and that left toe of Nilstorp with a good save.
A long one lifted in, but over the top and comes back up the near side of the ice and back out of the Texas zone. Gordon with control of the puck. 6 minutes off the clock here in the second period. Back is Yoki Paka, and that one went into the open door of the Ice Caps bench.
You don't see that very often, but the change being made, that's a good one.
2-1 the score here at the Cedar Park Center. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Calder Cup Final. Here in Cedar Park, they're pretty happy with the go-ahead goal. Mueller lifted one past Hutchinson, and now it is 2-1, approaching the midway point of this game one of the Calder Cup Final. In for the draw, Travis Morin, who scored the game's first goal and the series' first goal, up against Eric Odell. Odell wins that one back. The Ice Caps move back across the line. Briefly, Alexiak tosses it back the other way up to McKenzie. He couldn't control it. Reeling it in now, Ranford. Bit of a swimmer there as it falls down to the end board. Picked up there by O'Neill. Back out into center it comes, but McKenzie cuts it off, and now he trying to find Alexiak. Send it down deep. Right back to him as he gets it back from the goaltender. Stepping back the other way was Odell. He couldn't get anything done with it, and Ranford sends it back in, and we've got a penalty coming up.
Yeah, we got a tripping call, and it's going to be on the Rookie of the Year here in the American Hockey League, Curtis McKenzie, and that's just a lazy penalty as Odell was trying to scoot out of the zone, and he just reaches out with his stick and takes his legs out from underneath him, and Odell gets right back up, and everybody thinks the play is going to continue, but the back official makes the call. So the third power play opportunity here for St. John's, looking to see if they can get back to the even point in this hockey game.
Aren't going to do it on that opportunity as Glennie comes racing back with it, and then Morrissey holds him off, and Glennie breaks off. Jeffrey comes in. Here come the Ice Caps. Down the left side, cutting in through center, across the blue line. Cut back and down the ice it goes. The Ice Caps will have to regroup again. Still in control of it, Will O'Neill. He moves it up ice, but Ranford gets in the way of that one, and he taps it back down the ice. St. John's having a tough time getting going here with the extra man. Put along for Gordon. Gets by him, and that one is going to go for icing. That will frustrate a coaching staff.
Well, as you said, St. John's comes out to start period number 2. They score a minute and 47 seconds in, and then the next shift looked like they're going to take the lead in the hockey game, but a quick strike by Texas gets the lead back in their favor, and now here on the power play look a little disoriented as they're trying to get things back to even, as I talked about earlier here. 1:16 to go on the power play, and they've yet to get in the zone of the Texas Stars.
There's the drop, one back, O'Neill. Calmly. Now he gets to it. Pass up the left side. Dumped in. After it, Foxa bumps his man off of it. Into the corner it goes. Around behind. Gordon reaches for it. Cameron Gauntz, who's done a pretty good job defensively, out there with the penalty kill. Turning on it, hard shot, and that one picked up by Nielstorp, and how he saw it, it's hard to know.
You're right about that. As parked out front is the captain, Jason Jaffrey, and some good puck movement. O'Neill gets it, he moves it across to the youngster Morrissey, and the one-time shot with the big screen in front, and Nielstorp with a big glove save right there keeps this a 2-1 lead in favor of his hockey club.
Off the draw, knocked back down the ice, actually hits the referee. Jeffrey cuts back in, but they call that one offside.
Well, the fans showed their displeasure again, and this is a play where they're trying to dump the puck down the ice. The puck hits the official, and then it ends up being offside because of the puck not entering the zone off the official. So the fans, again, never shy of showing their displeasure with the officials, as they get booed quite handily every time they come on the ice in between periods or before the game.
Here in Texas, doesn't matter if it's going their way or not. Odell is upended. And now Redmond picks it off the boards as he tries to move it back toward the net. Mullery steps in, takes a hard hit, and it's blocked by Gaunt and cleared by Jeffrey.
Well, some physical play by Texas, and also a huge shot block, as you said, by the defenseman Gauntz, and those are the types of things that help you win hockey games. It's Cameron Gauntz playing terrific defensive hockey here as they kill off the rest of the power play.
Back to 5-on-5, here's Redmond. On the left side, McKinnon, and that one is out of play with 11:11 remaining in this second period.
Well, just one shot on goal for the St. John's Ice Caps on that power play, their third one of the hockey game. They're 0 for 3 thus far, so, you know, 5-on-5, they've generated a few chances, shots 12-10, still here in favor of the Texas Stars, and Texas only one shot on the period, so one goal on one shot, as the Ice Caps have fired 5 on Nielstorp thus far.
Ramford steps away, Morin comes in. That one knocked to the near wall. Meach just eats it along to McKenzie. Cross ice, he's got Morin who has to turn back for it. Travis Morin moves it along to Ramford across the blue line. He tries to reel it back in. Meach comes in to cover it up. Moves it sharply along the far boards. McKenzie there to work that one. Back out of the corner. Morin, nice little tap over to Ramford. Patient, hanging on. A little too patient as he runs into some trouble. Here's Meach. Up along the far boards. That got by everybody at the line. It just comes out as it hits something.
Actually, it hit the stick on the bench that's leaning over the boards and just inside the blue line, but the faceoff will come outside the line. A good call by the official is sitting on the bench. It's one of those plays where, you know, the player sitting there allows it to hit a stick. He could have pulled it back, but he doesn't. So the faceoff comes out to St. John's blue line into the neutral zone.
Texas with one shot on goal this period. Sometimes it only matters that you have one. As Nielstorp covers that one in, Sampson was right on top of him.
Well, in Western Conference Finals, 4 games played here in the 7-game series. And the Texas Stars versus the Toronto Marlies, 3 of the 4 games here at the Cedar Park Center. The Texas Stars had 50 shots plus. And far cry from it with only 12 on shots on goal. We're almost at the halfway point of the hockey game.
Lowry's going to have to step out. In comes Jerome Sampson. There's the drop. One back by the Stars. Give away! Lowry, and Nielstorp comes up with a huge save. And back out it comes. Here they come again, the Ice Caps. Looking to get that one back, and it's stopped again by Nielstorp. Glenny pounded to the boards. Ice Caps have this come back the other way. Jaffrey. And Dustin Jeffrey trying to get that one across as a whole lot of big saves coming from Christopher Nielstorp halfway through this hockey game. 2-1 the Stars up in the Calder Cup final. We'll be back with more Calder Cup action tomorrow night at 8:30 as we bring you Game 2 of the Calder Cup final between the St. John's Ice Caps and the Texas Stars. Tapped into the corner, around behind the net. Hedden trying to get a hold of this one, rolls out front, and Hutchinson. Good, he had the pad down. If you're an Ice Caps fan, he stopped that one from trickling in.
Yeah, that's a close call, and you know that's one thing about the goaltending today. Back in my day when I played, the goaltender probably would have been still standing up, and that might have got by him. As Hutchinson down in the butterfly position, and Hedden does a good job of working the puck and with his feet, and then chips it out front. He reaches it, dowling out front, and just by the toe of the pad on that right side for the goaltender Hutchinson prevents the puck from getting by him.
There's Jaffrey back the other way, feeds it, but it's behind Cormier, and now back the other way. Cut off by the Caps, and nobody seems to want to get a true hold of this one. Albert turns around, fires it back for Jaffrey, and he feeds it, but it goes right onto the stick of Nemeth, as both teams trying to educate the puck a little bit better than they have. Little collision there as it comes back up for Ritchie across the blue line. Hanging on to this one. Ritchie trying to feed it back in. That nearly found its way onto the stick of Hedden, and back comes Meach again. Long pass, and after it goes Ranford. And that is called for icing, and Ranford can't believe it.
Well, you've got the hybrid icing call in hockey today, and you know they go by the player in front when you get to the hash marks, and I'm going to say that the official made a poor call on this one, as that looked like Ransford had the edge, no question about it, as he was on his horse early as he's looking for that stretch pass. But nonetheless, the puck will come all the way back down to the Texas zone, and we're going to have a face-off to the left of Nielsstorp.
Morin comes in. He's going to face Eric Odell. Stick side on the free ride. Meach battles for this one. Odell working back out of the corner. London there, gets it back, tries the shot, but it goes off a stick, and then back out it comes to Hedden. Feeding it to Ranford, and he shovels this one in, goes after it again. He's got Morin on the other side. Travis Morin upends his man, Kitchen, and now Morin tries to shake it loose. He and Ranford trying to combine. Gauntz backs up on this one. Gets in the way of it, and it's sent down inside the Texas zone as Alexiak picks it up from there. Moves it around to Gauntz. Quickly back the other way. The Stars have had a good transition game all year long. Nielsstorp along the near boards. McKenzie gives it a chop as it comes back out into center. And back out in they come. Gauntz hammers it. Moves it back out. Ranford shovels it down the wall. Mueller trying to pick it up from there. Taking it off him. Josh Morrissey as the Ice Caps finally break out of their own zone and dump it right back the other way. Nemeth sees the pressure coming, tries to hold off his man, and it's picked up. And back come the Stars again. Here's Jeffrey across the blue line. Mueller going to the net, following it up. Scores! Lenny with the third goal for the Stars to put them up 3-1.
Well, the Texas Stars have scored 2 goals in this period, and both goals were carbon copies. First, Mueller gets his 6th a little earlier on, and now his 5th goal of the Calder Cup playoffs. Scott Glennie on a nice give-and-go play as he advances the puck up to Dustin Jeffrey, and then as they cross the line, he joins the rush. Jeffrey with the return pass, and Glennie picks it up, and he fires it up and over that right glove of the goaltender Hutchinson. And we've got a 3-1 game here in favor of the Texas Stars. 2 goals on 3 shots in period number 2 for the Stars.
12-17, the time of the goal. Henderson has that one get by him. After it quick is Redmond. Jeffrey on the assist, Glennie with the goal. That's the early take on it. Here's Nemeth. All the way back with it as the Stars up 3-1. Not a team that gives up the lead very easily. Sent down into the corner. Fox after it there. Getting some pressure. Albert putting a body to it. Comes loose briefly. And now Jaffrey waits for his mates. Redmond picks it up from there, and he backhands it deep inside the Texas zone. After it, Albert. Sampson there too, and it's laid along back for Ritchie. He dumps it in as he gets to the red line into the near side corner. Hard back up to London. Odell got it in behind him, and he moves it down deep. Fortunis gets after it. Moves it back up along the near board. Here's Kitchen at the blue line. With some space, the shot is off the mark. Along the near boards. Trying to shovel this back up the boards. Kitchen keeping it in. Mullerat comes in, heading, battling for it as it pops up high. And now Dowling got a hold of it. Went cross ice, and they were looking for a give and go there. Dowling had a little bit of steam on the go there, but the valve got released as it got by him. Now they're going to add Nemeth on the assist. I thought they might. The goal to Glennie at 12-17. Jeffrey and Nemeth on the assist.
Well, and it's interesting. Hutchinson has been so terrific for this St. John's Ice Caps team through the Calder Cup playoffs, and you can bet that the players are going to be backing him, saying, "Hey, we're gonna. You've held us into so many games, and the reason why we're here in the Calder Cup Finals right now, we're going to give you a little mulligan here thus far, and especially here in period number 2."
Ritchie back to Hedden. Dowling going to the net. Hedden knocked off of his stick. Moves it around behind. Dowling picks it up there. Tries to carry it himself back out front. O'Neill getting in the way of it. It's picked up by Klingberg. Gets it back out to center. Not far. Across the line. Sampson on the second effort. Rebound! Turned away by Nilstorp.
Well, Josh Morrissey jumps up on the play for the defenseman jumping in on the play, and he absolutely gets robbed by that right pad of Nilstorp.
Here's O'Neill trying to get to it. They organize up and dump it in, make some changes. Alexiak picks it up for the Stars. Ahead for Morin. Picking his way across the blue line with McKenzie behind him. Takes the shot. It goes off the stick and out of play with 5:07 left here in the second period. The Stars up 3-1. This is the Calder Cup final. Game 2 may start at 8:30, but the Game 2 preview show starts at 5:30 Eastern Time. Lots of time to get the interviews in and all the information that you want ahead of game number 2. Here's Riley with it. In game 1, in this second period, as it's dumped down the ice, the Stars have taken 3 shots on the goaltender in this third period. Successful twice.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And exposing that glove hand of the goaltender, Michael Hutchinson. And at the other end, Christopher Nilstorp has made 8 saves on 9 shots here in period number 2. So he's been the difference thus far here as a 2-goal lead here with 4:51 to go in period number 2.
Nemeth retreats. Gets some pressure. And now a sharp pass up to Jeffrey. Knocked off his stick. After a quick is Mueller trying to keep it in, and he does, but only briefly. Here's Redmond trying to work it back the other way. Took a funny hop into the glass, and now everybody's tied up down in the corners. We got a penalty coming up here.
It's going to be a holding the stick call, and it's going to go against the Texas Stars, number 15, Scott Glennie. He loses his stick on the back check, and then he grabs onto Redmond. And so an easy call by the official with 4:22 to go. St. John's trailing 3-1. They're looking to get on the power play and get it working for themselves. 0 for 3 thus in the game so far, so their power play needs to get working for them if they want to get back in the game here.
The draw, glove side of Nilstorp, comes back high to the line. Turning on it, O'Neill sends it in, traffic out front, scramble, and still there, and it gets blown pretty early there as Nilstorp looked like he didn't quite have it.
Yeah, you're right, the official pretty quick on the whistle, but it's interesting the St. John's Ice Caps, how they work their power play. Almost like an umbrella type formation. O'Neill at the top, you've got Cormier and Jaffrey both parked in front of Nielstorp, so all kinds of traffic in front of the Stars goal. So it'll be interesting to try and get pucks to make them get through the net to get by the goaltender.
Cormier points out some deficiency in that draw, but it gets dropped anyway. Gauntz is upended. Nemeth up along the near boards. Gauntz trying to get back to his feet. Here's Cormier, lets one fly. Boy, he ripped one, and that one went wide of the mark. Jaffrey in behind the net. Comes after it again. Comes loose. Gauntz steps to it, but there to pick it up and send it all the way out was Radek Faksa. Here come the Ice Caps again. Across the line, Morin taps it back, and this one dribbles out across the blue line. Cormier couldn't quite get to it again as the Ice Caps trying to get things set up here with the extra man. Jaffrey puts it over the far boards, goes after it in the corner. A little bit of help as Ramford stepped to it, but couldn't get his stick on it. Knocked down was Jaffrey. Back up high on the line, kept in. Cross to Morrissey, cut off. Here's Morin back with Ramford, short-handed. Finds Ramford, didn't get the shot away. Ramford still working it, however. Sends it back up front, Morin scores! Short-handed, Travis Morin makes it 4-1.
Well, a big special teams night for Travis Morin. He gets the first goal of the hockey game on the power play, and now he cashes in shorthanded. A turnover at the offensive blue line by St. John's, and back the other way. Morin over to Ranford. He whiffs on a shot, but he sticks with it, and he finds Morin all by himself, 5 feet out the top of the blue paint, and he makes no mistake as he puts it on the ice, past the outstretched stick of the goaltender Hutchinson, and a 4-1 lead for the Texas Stars. With 35 seconds to go here on the power play for the St. John's Ice Caps. So the shorthanded tally really putting this St. John's club in a hole.
2:59 to play. 16:51 was the time of it. Morin from Ramford. And Texas in command of this game here, taking control of it. They've now taken 15 shots. They had 11 at the end of the first period. Along the near boards, Mueller picks it up and sends it right back in. This crowd here in Austin, loud and proud. Back across the blue line they come, but don't get control of it as it's turned around and fired back down the ice. Glennie on his feet, ready to rejoin his mates as Dowling patrolling for the Stars, and it's back out from Redmond. Moves it along and down the boards into the corner it goes. Meach after it. London trying to tap it back. Odell picks it up from there, sends it back up high. That hard shot misses the mark, and Nielstorp plays it off into the corner as it bounced off the end boards. Sherratt with the blast. Stick knocked out of his hands, throws his palms to the air but doesn't get the call. Comes back and moves it. Odell finding Sampson. Looked like he had some room to move. Takes the shot, and that is stopped by Nielstorp. We saw it all the way with 1:50 remaining here in the second period.
Well, Christopher Nielstorp making sure that he swallows up that puck for no second opportunity. And, you know, it's interesting. Michael Hutchinson coming into this hockey game. A 1.61 goals against average in 16 games and a .946 save percentage. Outstanding numbers, but 3 goals against on 4 shots in period number 2 has his club trailing 4-1 with, as you say, with a .150 left in the period number 2.
Up along the far boards, turning on it, and Lowry was looking to get a redirection. Didn't. Out of the corner. Sampson trying to work it up the wall. McKenzie comes in. Lowry too. Finally it shakes loose as Klingberg adds his stick to it. Picked up by Morin. Feeding along to McKenzie. Morin comes after it as McKenzie is rubbed out. Morin looks out front, takes the shot from an odd angle, and it is cleared and back out into center.
He tried to go short side, top shelf, and the goaltender crouched down with that one pad down. that shot is there because there's about 3 or 4 inches and the puck will fit in that spot. He didn't quite get it, but a terrific opportunity.
Less than a minute to play here in the second period. That one bounces in front of Jafford. Nyoki pocket. Quick to it. Gordon keeps it in. Ice Caps looking to pick one up here late in the second period to bring it closer. They're down by 3 here in the second. Nearly a giveaway. Yoki Paka trying his best to hang on to it, but steals away. Shot right on. Gordon, what a save by Nielstorp. O'Neill picks it up high on the blue line. Looking for one with eyes. A backhander knocked down. Again, a good opportunity from John Albert, but he couldn't reel it back in.
Wow, 2 late terrific chances. First one, an absolute rob off the stick of Gordon. And Nielstorp coming up large for his team.
Stronsky looking backside, and he was hoping that he might find Mike Hedden. Knocked all the way back down the ice. Nielstorp tosses it aside, and what a period for the Texas Stars. Picking up 3 goals to make it 4-1 as they try to separate out these 2 sides as they exit the ice.
Well, St. John's comes out and starts the period terrifically. 1:47 in, they tie the hockey game. But 3 goals on 4 shots in the period, and they trail by 3 after 40 minutes of play. A little dejected, I'm sure, heading to the dressing room.
Lots to talk about, surely, for Keith McCambridge as the St. John's Ice Caps are down by 3. This is the Calder Cup Final.
Welcome back to Cedar Park, Texas, the site of game number 1 of the Calder Cup Finals between the Texas Stars and the St. John's Ice Caps. It is a 4-1 Stars lead after 40 minutes of play, joined by Ice Caps defenseman Zach Redmond. Now, Zach, as a marketing major from Ferris State, we appreciate your Texas connection. Do you embrace the fact you're coming home to play this series?
I spent some of my younger years here. I think I was a little too young to remember, but it treated me well while I was here, and I know my parents liked it, so it is pretty cool to get back.
In terms of who owns the speed advantage, do you feel that's who has the edge in this game?
That's hard to say. I think we were coming out, and the crowd got into it early. They got a goal early and got a lot of momentum going. The series is far from over. The game is far from over, so we just need to come out in the third. I think we're going to be just fine.
Zach, on that note, you provided a late push at the end of that second period. Do you feel your best chance is to get Nielstorp moving?
Yeah, I think we just need to throw pucks on him. It's the same story as any goalie in the playoffs. You got to get in his eyes and make sure he can't see the puck, make it tough on him. It's another series, another game. All the basic fundamentals are the same, so we just need to go out and get a better effort here in the third.
Zach, thank you.
Thank you.
Zach Redmond of the St. John's Ice Caps. After 40 minutes of play, they are trying to do what no other team has done in the playoffs against Texas, and that is come back in the third period. The Stars are 5-0 when leading after 2 periods of play. When we continue, we will bring you more coverage in between periods from Cedar Park Arena in Cedar Park, Texas. This is the Calder Cup Finals on Leafs TV.
A special night for Travis Bourne by way of special teams, a power play goal to open the first period, and a shorthanded goal to get things going as well in the second. 4-1 after 40 minutes of play, Texas leading St. John's. The director of hockey operations for the Winnipeg Jets and the general manager of the St. John's Ice Caps is Craig Heisinger. And Craig, the great start in the second period. Your club, however, was just not able to capitalize. How have you seen the game unfold from there on in?
Oh, I'd say that's bang on. We certainly had a better start to the period and from a full period from a shot perspective, but we gave up some grade A chances, things we don't usually do off the rush. The shorthanded goal at the end has been an Achilles heel for us all season. I think we led the league in shorthanded goals against. So there's some things to clean up on our end, but we know we can be better, and we hope to be in the third period and going forward.
What are the big picture implications for the Winnipeg Jets when you've got a team like this in St. John's going as far as they have in the spring?
Well, there's no downside to it, that's for sure. We have quite a bit different team than we've had in the past, and I'm including the Manitoba Moose years through the first couple of seasons in St. John's. We have a much younger team, only 2 veteran players, and the young players are pushing the envelope. Not just the first and second year guys, but guys that have been here 3 years have steadily gotten better, surrounded by guys like Jason Jaffrey and Andrew Gordon. Continue to provide leadership and professionalism so the young guys know what it takes.
The addition of those veterans, the biggest difference from one year to the next when you get to the final this time around, and we're last in the Atlantic a year ago?
Yeah, I think last year was an anomaly. That's something that hasn't happened through 15 years of American League hockey between Manitoba and St. John's. I don't put a whole lot of stock in where we finished last year. There were still signs of improvement from young players, so that's a positive. Are you happy when you miss the playoffs? No, but everybody learns from it, including myself. And we've improved this year, and it's a 7-game series, so we got some ways to go here today.
Head coach Keith McCambridge is a proud son of Thompson, Manitoba. What has made him so successful in developing your youngsters?
I think Keith is just a hard-working guy. He gets his message across. He really relates to the young players. He was similar to a lot of the young players when he played. He's had success in the East Coast League. He's worked his way up, and he rolls up his sleeves and gets things done.
Brendan Kitchen is certainly playing as a young man, motivated, and I think the Jets got him in a bit of a steal in the 7th round in 2013. How has his season been this year?
Well, he's had a terrific season. He was originally a draft pick of the New York Islanders. He was a re-entry draft for us last year in the 7th round. He's had a very good season, was selected to the All-Star team, which is really an accomplishment because there wasn't 2 teams this year. There was only 1, so there's really only 7 defensemen selected instead of 14, and then made the all-rookie team. So his development curve has been probably what we expected based on the career that he had in junior, and he continues to get better.
Yes, he and the many youngsters on this team, including Michael Hutchinson, a nice story in the spring of 2014. Craig, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure. Thanks for the interest, guys.
All right, Craig Heisinger. 4-1 after 2 periods of play as the Texas Stars outscore the St. John's Ice Caps in that middle frame by a count of 3-1. As we return back to Cedar Park Center in downtown Austin, Texas, we'll remind you that this is the Calder Cup 2014. Our show continues in a moment.
Now across the blue line, help on the backside, Gordon, backhander, and he's robbed. Back up again, that shot, out front, still there, Jaffrey hangs on, block shot, second attempt, O'Neill scores. Mueller has a step, comes in, shoots, he scores! And back come the Stars again. Here's Jeffrey across the blue line, Mueller going to the net, following it up, so scores! Lenny with the third goal for the Stars to put them up 3-1. Here's Morin back with Ramford, short-handed, finds Ramford, didn't get the shot away. Ramford still working it, however, sends it back up front, Morin scores! Short-handed, Travis Morin makes it 4-1.
Big period, big second period for the hometown Texas Stars as they outscore the opposition from St. John's 3-1. Only the 3rd time in 17 playoff games so far this spring for St. John's that they have not scored the game's opening goal. Travis Morin with a pair, shorthanded, and by way of the power plays. We welcome you back to Cedar Park. Paul Hendrick alongside John Abbott, and you look at the guys here from St. John's right in beside us, looking to get some speed through the neutral zone, looking to get some offensive zone presence by way of a forecheck. They've not been able to do so, and the opposition have really capitalized.
They have, and Texas is so quick, as you say, in transition, turning it around. I think it's important for St. John's to take a page out of what they were doing at the very beginning of the game. The Odell line was being able to pressure at the offensive line, and they were keeping pucks in. Now they have to generate more from there. Get Neil Storp moving, I think, is another key, and they'll try and come out and even this thing up and look for the lead.
Michael Hutchinson has had a tremendous spring, but it looks as if Texas is going high, glove side consistently. Seems to have paid off.
Ironically, that was the book on Neil Storp coming out of the other round, so I don't know if it's something about right-handed goalies or not, but yes, he'll be looking to rebound in the third period. But that's one thing about Texas is not only do they generate a lot in transition, but they capitalize on mistakes and opportunities very quickly. St. John's finding that out.
The Toronto Marlies held Travis Morin to just 1 assist in the last 4 games of their series. What have you liked about Travis's play here tonight as he's really ignited?
I like the fact that his vision is coming into play as well, and he's rounding things out for Texas. I mean, not only does he have the veteran presence, but he finds the open area on the ice, as he's proven with his goals, and that certainly makes Texas a deeper team when he's running as he is.
And St. John's looking to rebound here in the final 20 minutes of play of regulation, but they trail 4-1. Let's go back upstairs to Todd Crocker and Bob McGill.
Well, thanks, Henny. Convincing are the Texas Stars when they are leading after 40 minutes of play, Bob.
Well, you're right about that, Todd. Here in the Calder Cup playoffs, 5-0 when leading after two periods of play. But in the regular season, pretty outstanding numbers. 38, 2, and 5. I'd say that's a dominant hockey club when they lead after 40 minutes of play. But they need to be much better in their own zone. They gave up 12 shots against and some quality opportunities. And Christopher Nielstorp made some big saves in that period. Otherwise, things could have been a lot different. But when you score 3 goals on 4 shots for your own hockey club, I guess that's the difference.
And it is the playoffs. Strange things seem to always happen. Travis Morin comes in for the draw to start the third period here of Game 1. His Stars up comfortably 4-1. The St. John's Ice Caps are a team that can put on the pressure. They've done it all game long. Here's Ramford as he fires it down inside the St. John's end of things. McKenzie, screamer right through the crease, and it comes back out the other way as Yoki Paka and Nemeth come back for it. That back to Yoki Paka, and Ramford will pick it up. Coming back the other way, 3-on-2. Here's Nemeth joining the rush, and Ramford gets a touch on it. Little backhander, as Travis Morin always thinking about where the net is. They'll make a change 40 seconds in to this third period. Glennie trying to get after it as Ben Sherratt had trouble moving it. That goes off the stick, back out. Mueller shoots, and he's wide of the mark. Mueller looks for it again in behind the net. Feeds it back out front, but the only bodies there are in blue shirts. Here's Klingberg back with it. Gives this one back. Josh Morrissey moving this one with some speed across the blue line, but it's gathered in by Dowling as it ran into trouble. Right back the other way. Hedden hangs up, waits for help as the Stars were on a bit of a change. In behind, and Dowling looked to chop it in, stick side. Right back the other way. John Albert knocks it down deep. Meach pushed off, but Ritchie is right there to gather it in and move it back the other way. On the right side, Fortunas touches it across the line. Ritchie tries to cut in, and a defensive play, knocking it down, Will O'Neill.
O'Neill, not just a great offensive defenseman, a real terrific defensive play there as he takes the puck off the stick of Ritchie with that slide.
Ritchie gives it away, but the Ice Caps can't move it. Now Henderson back the other way across the blue line. Little backhander cut off by Albert, and he negates the chance that the Stars were looking to manufacture. Back the other way, in behind Christopher Nielstorp. Shoveling it along to Radek Faksa as he puts it onto the stick of Henderson. He'll do it again, trying to get behind his man. Hill pushes him off of it with some authority. Off of Henderson's stick, and Cale Mullerat sends it back the other way with Odell. Shoveling it off to the right side, cutting back in, backhander, doesn't get through, turn around, the shot, scores! And the Ice Caps get back with Mullerat, knocking it in, making it 4-2.
Well, a great job by the St. John's Ice Caps, and Kitchton is the guy that instigates things. His puck doesn't get through, but it bounces onto the stick of Mullerat, and he's going to get his 4th of the season. And right there, off the skate, Kitchton's first opportunity, and then the shot redirected right back towards the net by Cale Mullerat. and he gets his 4th goal of the Calder Cup playoffs, and we've got a 4-2 hockey game. So some of the air just came out of the building as St. John's, I think, going to get some life maybe in their legs as they're going to look to see if they can tighten things up here against this Texas Stars team.
They got the first goal of the second period, and then Texas exploded for 3. They work it back. Kitchen and Odell will get the assist. 2:36 the time of it. That one pops up and out of play.
Well, it's interesting, you know, when you talk about this goal and Kitchen being the guy that instigates it. Will O'Neill gets the goal, the first goal of the game for this St. John's club. When I look at the defense on both these teams, you know, the St. John's Ice Caps, they've got now, 9 goals from their defense from 5 different guys. St. John's have 3 goals from their defense, all from 1 player. And that's a real big difference between the offensive production from your blue line.
Trying to work it back. Out of the corner. Klingberg couldn't quite get it done, and now nearly given away. Little toss back the other way as the Stars try to transition back. They don't. Back across the line, Sampson, as that one climbs up into the fish net.
Well, the one thing, you know, when you talk about, you know, Keith McCambridge and the way his club works, he says we never stop working, and that's something. A 4-1, you know, deficit coming into period number 3 with just 20 minutes to play. You look at, hey, in the first 10 minutes we need to score 1 goal. Well, that's mission accomplished. So now they can say by the 10-minute mark, if we can make it even a 1-goal game, it might be theirs. But they've got lots of time now. So it's all about being patient here and not forcing the issue and giving any outnumbered chances.
Hill, the shot that hits the side of the net. Dowling trying to move it back out of the corner is Albert. Out front. That shot right on. Neil Storp comes up with the save, and it's knocked back the other way. Hedden will race for it. Hill too. Hedden gets there first, and he tries to organize something up, but it goes into the corner where the battle happens. Dowling trying to pick it out of there. Got Ritchie waiting for it. Dowling throws one over, and he falls in the process. Ritchie sends one toward the net. That one knocked down. Ritchie tries to get a hold of it. It's picked up by Kitchen, and back out the other way come the Ice Caps. Not going away in this one, even though down to 4-1, now 4-2. Here they come down the left side. Sherratt leads it down into the corner. Nemeth tries to get his stick on it. Odell is right there for the Ice Caps. Working it is Nemeth. Back up the boards it comes. At the blue line, it's kept in. Here's Sherratt. Looks in. The shot blocked by Jokipaka, and Stronsky breaks out with Henderson, but he gives the puck over. Zach Redmond. Pass along to Mullerock. Cuts back in. Hanging on. Leads his man, and London was looking for it. Just couldn't get the knock on it that he wanted. Sent back into the corner.
That was a terrific pass right there as London comes off the bench, and he almost finds himself with the puck all alone in front of the goaltender.
Stronsky moves it down the wall as the Texas Stars trying to hold off these St. John's Ice Caps. That one pops up in behind Travis Moore. Down the boards he goes. McKenzie down deep for the Stars. Gets some pressure. Ranford picks it out of there. Up high, he's got help, and Cameron Gauntz, but he goes back into the corner, and the Ice Caps are able to clear it back out of their own end. Sampson along the near boards. In front of the penalty boxes as Morrissey comes back. McKenzie hard after, picking it up. Ranford has help up front. Ranford turns around, shoots, and that one is wide of the mark. Here's Meach. At the blue line, he sends it in. McKenzie trying to get to it. The Caps get there first, and along the far wall, they're able to get it up and all the way down the ice. Meach getting back for this one. At the blue line, it's kept in. Still working it. Sampson as the Stars try to get it out, and finally do. 2-on-1, back the other way. Glennie and Jeffrey. Jeffrey back, and that one won't find its way onto the stick of Glennie.
Well, a terrific defensive play by Jordan Hill. He gets his stick on it.
Jeffrey Mueller! And that one slides by Mueller. A couple of good opportunities by the Stars.
Well, we talked about taking chances at the offensive blue line. The St. John's Ice Caps don't come up with a loose puck, and they give that 2-on-1 break. They dodge a bullet and don't go down by that 3 spot again here in the game. And tempers starting to flare a little bit as these two teams become accustomed to each other.
We'll be back in a moment with more of the third period. Stars up 4-2 in Game 1 of the Calder Cup Final. There you see the past winners of the Calder Cup, and back in 2009, 2010, this Texas Stars organization lost to the Hershey Bears, who were the eventual winners. And last year, Grand Rapids the winner, and Texas dispatched them out of the playoffs this year.
Well, one player playing in this game number 1, Andrew Gordon for the St. John's Ice Caps, was on that Hershey team that won the back-to-back Calder Cups.
Back up behind the line, Sherratt, the shot, and now back the other way as Ritchie races for it, trying to get the wheels to it. Albert covering it up, and Dowling, who was racing down the ice, had Albert right with him, took him out of the play at the end of it.
Well, this is one of those breaks again where Justin Dowling is doing everything he can to try and get to the net, hoping there's going to be a rebound from the shot by Brett Ritchie as he races down that right side after the loose puck. And this is one where the goaltender sometimes pays the price every now and again. And obviously the fight back by number 16, John Albert, takes Dowling down. And as a result, almost slides into the goaltender, but he gets out of the way at the last minute.
Warren gives it back to Ranford. He steps in behind the net, comes out the other side, turns around and takes a shot. And Hutchinson didn't see it. I'm not sure he felt it as it came out the other side. Up along the far boards it goes as the Caps move it down inside the Texas zone. Comes back out for Morrissey as he eats it back out. Off a stick as Cameron Gauntz gets to it and leads it along to Cormier. Back the other way across the blue line. Long shot. Snapped out of the air by Christopher Nielsen. Now some more conversation out front of the net. Haven't had a whole lot of this.
No. These teams not familiar with each other at all, and that's something that through the course of a 7-game series you can really find yourself to be able to dislike the opposition, and we're just getting started. In a 4-2 game, it's still at the point where discipline comes into play here. Don't take the initial penalty, put your team down, because it could be the difference between either getting out of the game or getting back in the hockey game if you give up a power play goal.
Here's Meach trying to work it back out of the corner, turns around, nice pass, puts it on the stick. Henderson coming back the other way, and now he'll chase it in further. Braddock Foxett squirts back out front and dribbles off to the stick side. Coming back out, didn't get far as Stronsky taps it back across the line. Some changes look to be happening, but they all stayed on the ice. The Stars did as Mullarat has that hop up over top of him. Gets it back down the ice. Meach makes a nice little fake as Braddock Foxett calls for it. Back across the blue line. Hard shot. That one goes off a body and into the corner and right back the other way as Mullarat picks it up. Long shot in. Comes back out the other side. Morris, he lifts one in, and it's stopped by Neilstorp on good positioning. Glennie, long pass looking for Mueller. Out front again. Here it is. Score! Lenny with the goal. And 5-2 is now the score as the Texas Stars show you why speed is an integral part of a hockey club.
Well, again, another chance at one end, and then the puck advances right back the other way. And the long stretch pass to Mueller doesn't connect the way they would have liked, but they chase down the loose puck. And the play from Mueller to Justin Jeffrey across to Glennie coming late. And he gets his second goal of the game, his 6th of the Calder Cup playoffs, and a 5-2 lead as the Texas Stars restore their 3-goal bulge.
8:27 the time of it. Scott Glennie's goal, second of the game. Jeffrey and Mueller on the assist. And St. John's look to be climbing back into this one. And now they've got a few more rungs on the ladder to go. Nemeth tapped up along the boards. Hedden reaches for it. It's picked up and then tripped up. Stars Yoki Paka. Here's Ritchie. Back the other way, feeding it along to Dowling, who couldn't get the shot away or the pass off. And now back the other way it goes. But the Ice Caps are going to make a change with Alexiak hanging on to it. Tipped in. That one was not tipped in. They're going to pick this up and take it all the way back for icing with 10:47 remaining. Here in the third period, the Stars up 5-2 on the Glennie goal.
It's amazing when you see this Texas Stars club, you know, how efficient they are and how quick strike of an offense they can be and how opportunistic they can be. You know, those 4 shots in period number 2, you know, a couple of them were terrific shots where the guy had a clear opportunity, you know, one-on-one with the goaltender, and then that one an easy play.
Hill, long way away, scores! Makes it 5-3. And the Ice Caps aren't impressed that the Stars can put the puck in the net.
And don't go away, folks.
That was a whack of a shot, as it may have been tipped out front. We'll take a look at it here.
Well, Jordan Hill, I think, is going to get his first goal of the Calder Cup playoffs. A seeing eye shot, and I don't know if it touches anybody on the way through, but you see the traffic in front. Jason Jaffrey parked out front. He's got a Texas Star player beside him. Nielstorp has no idea where the puck is, off that goalpost and in, and it's now a 5-3 game with 10:30 to go.
I think Gordon may have got that off the shaft of his stick, but we'll see here as they dress up the goal and present it officially to us. McKenzie moves it back. It is Hill right now who gets it. Gordon and Albert on the assist. Leading it back, Moore. He didn't quite get it. Sent down deep off the glass. Rolls in behind Nielstorp, where it's picked up by Gauntz, and now Stronsky. Caps making a game of this one. They don't see the scoreboard till the end. Here they come. O'Neill sends it down deep. Fortunas after it there. It pops loose. Stronsky moves it along, turning it around and trying to get it back up to the line. Morrissey feeds it back in, but they're going to have to clear this zone. And now Fortunas looks up ice, and Foxa hangs on to this one. He's trying to feed it back along to Glennie. That one comes right back the other way as Lowry steps in across the line and tries to work it down. Murat back out of the corner on the goal, and that one is off the glass and back down the ice. Takes an edge and doesn't have enough steam to get down the ice for the face-off. Redmond picks it up and comes back the other way with some speed. Klingberg leaves this one back. Sampson, the shot right on, loose puck, still there, and Mueller gobbles it up and right back the other way he goes.
Well, Nielstorp lets that puck get away from him, and precariously close, standing on the doorstep. A couple of St. John's Ice Cap players, they can't find that loose puck, or it might have been a 5-4 hockey game.
Yoki Paka. Up the boards it comes. Dowling. Back over for Hedden. Down deep. Ritchie battles his man Sherrod. Working on it. Comes loose for a moment. Now Dowling trying to reel it in, but it will be put back up to the blue line. Alexiak tries the shot. Picked up and back the other way. Jerome Sampson sends it before the Ice Caps make a change. Hedden pulls it off the boards. Chipped down. Here's Alexiak cutting in. He's got Ritchie, and he couldn't get the shot away to him on a good defensive play out front, though he still has it in behind the net. Alexiak still working it. Hill has gotten in the way of that one. Along the near boards it comes, and here come the Ice Caps. Odell putting it across the line. Kitchen off his stick. Gauntz trying to get his tap on it. Back up along the near boards. Doesn't get far. Kitchen back out of the corner. That one up high as Alexiak sends it back to the line. Not out. Murat working it off Gauntz. Sends it out front, and a great opportunity waiting for Odell, but he couldn't gobble it up. And another shot just wide of the net. Nielstorp covers this one up, and now McKenzie gets into a tussle. As this game has a little emotion injected into it.
Yeah, without question, and since they scored that 5-3 goal, some new life added to the legs here of St. John's.
5-3 the score. 7:26 left to go in the third. We'll be back in a moment. Game 1 of the Calder Cup Final. Here at the Cedar Park Center, the Stars up 5-3. Being chased hard here. Fortunas off his stick. Sends it down into the corner by the St. John's Ice Caps in Game 1. The Calder Cup on the line. Both teams earned their way here through their respective conferences. Back up at the blue line. This one comes out. Change it back the other way. The Ice Caps will, but sharply off Jaffrey. Plays it in. Fortunas has an eye to Gordon. Albert plays it back off the other side. Jaffrey looks out front. It's got Gordon patrolling there. Sherratt turns around. Hedden trying to get a stick on it. Yoki Paka steps to it. He fires it back up and down the ice. A race for it is Hedden trying to get to it. Hutchinson indecisive, but finally comes out to play it. Albert picks it up out of the corner. Hasn't got a lot of help. He hangs on and waits for it. Lost the handle on the stick and on the puck, rather, and at the blue line, Sherratt. Down into the corner, Nemeth tosses it back up along the boards, and it comes to the blue line. It's kept in, only briefly. Here's Stronsky with it. Leads it down into the corner. The Stars able to make a change. 6 minutes left to play here in the third period. Texas up 5-3 over St. John's. Looking to take Game 1 here on home ice. Sampson hanging on to this one. That shot goes off a stick and out of play. Our opportunity to step aside as the Stars up 5-3 in this Calder Cup Final. We'll have the preview show for you at 5:30. Game 2 tomorrow night at 8:30. As that one is sent inside the St. John's zone. Comes right back out as the Stars hoping to close out Game 1 with a victory. They're up 5-3 currently. Being pressured here, though, by the Ice Caps as Ranford broke his stick trying to take a shot. Back the other way it comes. Ranford just comes off the ice. Morrissey played that back to O'Neill. London down the near boards. Here's Glennie, who's got 2 on the night. Played back up along the boards as Meach tried to get it out of the zone. Glennie cuts it off, reels it back in. 3-on-1, back the other way, hanging on. Glennie stopped by Hutchinson as he was looking for his 3rd of the night.
Well, and that's the thing, is you try to take chances at the offensive blue line, and if you make a mistake or you don't get the puck, you give out outnumbered chances. And a 3-on-1 break here, and a terrific save by Michael Hutchinson allows the St. John's Ice Caps to stay in this hockey game. Dustin Jeffrey looking to cross-crease pass right there onto the stick of Glennie, and then trying to pounce on that loose puck is, I think it's number 26, Hedden, jumping on the loose puck, and again the glove saved by the goaltender Hutchinson, and as a result still a 2-goal deficit for St. John's, but they've still got the chance with just under 5 minutes to play.
Another one, long pass ahead for Jaffrey, reels it in, he's whistled offside.
Well, he puts himself offside because he can't handle the pass, and this is the Texas Stars get caught napping. And it's right off the face-off. The Stars get a chance right in front of Hutchinson, but they turn and fire it up the ice, and all by himself behind the defense was Jaffrey, and he just mishandles the puck and puts himself offside.
Dowling goes in for the draw. Albert, the Ice Caps. No sense here as Jaffrey brings it across the blue line and sends it down deep. Alexiak reels it in from there. Dowling, this one cuts in. Gordon, the shot, and stopped by Neil Storr. Hedden. Here's Dowling right back the other way, working with Ritchie, getting back quick. Albert, Dowling tried to cut back inside. He left the puck behind. Here come the Ice Caps again. Patiently playing their game. Out front it rolls, and that one is cleared away. That shot is off the skate. And now Jaffrey in after it. Mueller battles for it. Lowry, patient, waits for it, sends it behind the net. Here's Jaffrey back out front. And Jeffrey trying to get to that one. Tosses it along to Glennie. This comes back into some open ice where Redmond is able to pick it back up, and the Ice Caps send it back the other way. And will make their final change. Nemeth up the far board. McKenzie tips it right back out into center ice. 3:45 remaining here as the Ice Caps try to engineer a comeback. Down the left side, cutting in Klingberg across the line, hanging on, sends it out front, and Lowry could not find it to knock it past Nielstorp as it's sent back the other way. Here's Hill, gathering it in, holding off his man McKenzie, stepping away. Hill fires it over, waiting for the pass back. That shot is up and over into the glass. Here's Sampson looking at it. Back out of the corner, trying to find some help. Fortunas moves it back up the glass. Morrissey tries to keep it in, falls in the process. McKenzie reels it in on the left side. Back for Meach, blast, but that one is blocked, and Hill looks like he's slow to get up. Here's Meach again. Sends it down deep. Ritchie picks it up out of the corner. 2:50 left to play here. Down by 2 are the Ice Caps. Back up the boards it comes. And Morrissey. Ice Caps are going to make a change here, but he is able to get it down deep. There goes the goaltender, Hutchinson. On for the extra attacker, Mueller trying to hang on to it down into the corner. Getting a stick on it is Fortunas. Back up along the far boards, Albert. Here's O'Neill with it. Throws one on it, and Nielstorp hangs on to that one. 2:18 left to play. The extra attacker on for St. John's.
Now shots 27-19 in favor of the St. John's Ice Caps. And I think we're going to get a timeout called, and St. John's calling it with 2:18 to go. And I like what they've done here. You're down by a pair. You pull your goaltender. They do a good job of coming up with that loose puck in the offensive zone. You get it up to the blue line, and a nice shot by, I think, number 27, Will O'Neill, who's got one of the goals for St. John's in this hockey game. And he gets it on the goaltender with lots of traffic in front. But Nielstorp, again, he does a good job of this one of using his catching glove to squeeze the puck and not give a second opportunity, as a couple of the St. John's Ice Caps on the doorstep looking to see if they can pounce on a loose puck if there is one.
With 6 attackers and a face-off in the Texas zone, if the comeback is to happen for St. John's, it's got to start here with 2:18 remaining. On comes Odell, Gordon, Sampson. Back is O'Neill. Kitchen as well, so good this year. Picking it up is McKenzie, racing after it. Morin, not a lot of weight on that one. Smart play by the rookie. He didn't panic and try to hammer it back down the ice. Odell fires it down deep, around behind the net. Nemeth off the glass, doesn't get out. McKenzie tried to get after that one. They've got Odell patiently waiting out front. This one comes through the crease. That shot backhanded from Sampson, stopped by Nielstorp.
Well, the Ice Caps do a good job of, coming cleanly out of their own zone with some speed. They dump it softly into the offensive zone, and then they chase it down. They get the puck recovery that they want, and some good, patience with the puck down low. You hold it in from Hutton's Mueller trying to go through the crease to find somebody, and then picking it up with Sampson, the backhander from a bad angle, and Nielstorp comes from his left to his right, makes the save. 1:50 to go in the game.
One popped off the glass awkwardly, and now Mueller sends it along, finding Hedden, looks in, scores! The empty netter. 6-3. As Hedden puts his name on it with 1:41 remaining.
Well, and Mike Hedden, who was instrumental in ousting the Toronto Marlies in the Western Conference Final. Game 7, he had a goal and 2 assists. he puts the icing on the cake in Game 1 of the Calder Cup Finals with the empty net goal to give a 6-3 lead to his Texas Stars as they are going to draw first blood here in the finals.
Fox in behind the net. Henderson picks it up there. Looks back out front. You get into this situation and you have to wonder, 18-19 the time of it, you have to wonder if having back-to-back games, it won't be back on Tuesday night or rather Monday night at 8:30 with Game 2. Here's Stronsky back across the blue line, hanging on to it, knocked off with his stick. You have to wonder how preferable it is for either squad.
I think both teams, because the Texas Stars are going to come away with a Game 1 victory, but they're not going to be happy with their performance. And St. John's, on the other hand, are going to feel encouraged on their play that they know if they get some saves as their goaltender's capable of doing for them, that they got a chance to leave here with a split.
High on the line, Yoki Paka. Less than 40 seconds, the crowd on its feet here at the Cedar Park Center. Happy with the outcome here tonight. Nemeth, long shot and a blocker save by Hutchinson. Another one he turns aside from Glennie with 25 seconds left to go. Scott Glennie, a whale of a night. As it's dumped in and the Ice Caps will make their final change. Nemeth in behind the net. He moves this one as it's dumped back the other way. Knocked down. Redmond, long shot, handled by Nielsdorf, and that will do it. Are we going to get into something here? We are, as Lowry and Glennie at the end of the contest start throwing them.
Yeah, they got after each other, and they're not holding anything back here. And Lowry, 6'5", Glennie, not as big, but they're throwing some haymakers, and we got a lot of jawing going on as everybody's partnering up.
At the end of Game 1. It doesn't take long. It does not take long when two clubs get into a Calder Cup final for the emotions to heat up. Both clubs are being asked to stay on their benches as they sort this one out. Sherratt led off.
Well, you're right. These two teams have never met, and it's one of these situations where, you know, the guys are coming off the bench now. I think they're going to allow the Texas Stars to leave the ice first. And at the end of everything, the scrap started between Glennie and Lowry, and the Texas Stars will draw first blood with a 1-0 lead in this series with a 6-3 victory in Game number 1.
We'll be back with our final comments in just a moment. This is the Calder Cup Final.
He was born in Oakville and raised in Winnipeg. Scott Glennie, the game's first star. Congratulations. We'll give you a towel. And you guys are money in the bank after 2 periods of play, 6-0 in these postseason playoffs. Tell me about here tonight as the opposition really came after you hard, especially in the middle frame, but you guys held strong in the final 20.
Yeah, you know what? I thought they played great. Our goalie made some really timely saves for us, and you know we had some really timely goals, and you know it was a really hard-fought game.
The Marlies got an indication of what you and Dustin Jeffrey can do. What has made Dustin Jeffrey so good in setting you up the way he did tonight and the way he did in the previous series?
Well, you know what? He sees the ice so well, and you know I'm really lucky to be playing with him. And he's been setting me up like that all playoffs and most of the regular season, so I know he's a tremendous player, and I'm really happy to be playing with him.
Tremendous club in a season you've had, but if there was an area of improvement coming out of the previous series, it was special teams. I think you answered the call here tonight as a team.
You know what? I thought we did a great job. We worked hard on it all week. You know, we got a couple extra days to work on power play, and you know I thought we did a great job tonight.
Scott, congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we'll let you go, and we'll bring in John Abbott here as we get set now for the next stage of the series, and wondering how the team from St. John's will rebound and get better, because they have to get better in many areas of this game to compete.
They do, but it's interesting. You look back against round 2 versus Norfolk, lost the first game, rebounded to win the second. Wilkes-Barre, third round, lost the first game, rebounded to win the second. So the St. John's Ice Caps have been in this position before, but they're going to have to step it up considerably to try and compete and get the split out of Texas.
What did you like about Texas's play here tonight that denied the opposition a chance to get a forecheck in any cycle established?
Well, I thought they were first to pucks, and their speed helped them a lot at that as well. And as the Stars played the Toronto Marlies around prior, not afraid to get physical when they can, but again, I go back to that speed. Not only does it help them in their defensive zone, but pushing the pace up the ice, I thought that was terrific. And we both know when the puck's at the offensive zone for the Stars, that just means there's less time in their own zone. I thought they did a great job.
And now the pressure on the club from St. John's to get a win here and to split to head back to a raucous building up at Mile 1 in St. John's. Not going to be easy here, but I think the pressure on their backs and at least the guys on the home side breathing a bit easier. But it looked as if, at least from St. John's perspective, the legs a little bit heavy after that long flight prior to Game 1 here this evening.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Paul, and I think we saw that even in the morning skate. You know, it's all kinds of adjustments and all kinds of pressure when you get to the Calder Cup Finals. But it's interesting, you know, they were able to get to Nielstorp a little bit tonight, and Nielstorp has not won many games in the postseason when he allows 3 goals against. So they've got to the Texas goaltender. They'll try and use that to their advantage in Game 2.
Travis Moore in 2 goals, Scott Glennie 2 goals as well, as a 6-3 final has the Texas Stars leading this best-of-7 Calder Cup Championship 1-0. Just a reminder, we are back on the air for Game 2 tomorrow night, Monday, 8:30 Eastern Time, Texas versus St. John's, in what should be a very, very entertaining hockey game if the opening 60 minutes here tonight in Texas is any indication. 2 of the best teams in the American Hockey League, the Texas Stars, of course, with the best record in the American Hockey League, and the pride of the Eastern Conference, the St. John's Ice Caps, hoping to rebound, bounce back, and even this series at a game apiece, heading back to Newfoundland for games 3, 4, and 5, starting in the Newfoundland capital on Wednesday night. Again, our final score from Cedar Park, Texas, the Texas Stars 6, the St. John's Ice Caps 3. Until tomorrow night, I'm Paul Hendrick saying so long from Texas.